All right, let's jump right in. We're going to tackle a huge question that's on everyone's mind in the world of AI. You know how it is, right? It feels like every single week there's a new AI chatbot popping up, and every one of them claims to be the smartest, the fastest, the absolute best. But how do you even prove that? What does best even mean? Is it the one that's a math whiz, or the one that can write a beautiful poem? Or maybe, just maybe, it's the one that's actually pleasant to talk to. So in this crazy, crowded world of AI, who's the real champ? And that question, right there, gets to the heart of a massive challenge for anyone building these things. Let's call it the AI ranking problem. I mean, sure, you can throw a standardized test at a chatbot, see how it does on math problems, but does that really tell you if it's going to be helpful when you're stuck? Or creative when you need an idea? Not really. Think about it. How do you put a number on something like helpfulness, or creativity, or just, getting the vibe right in a conversation? You can't. It's not a simple math equation. It's messy, it's subjective, it's human. And for the longest time, this whole problem, how to measure if an AI actually clicks with what people want, was a huge, huge roadblock. But then a really clever solution came along. A research paper from March 2024 laid out this brilliantly simple yet super powerful idea. It was a totally fresh take on how to evaluate AI, and it all goes down in one place: the arena. It's called Chatbot Arena, and what it does is genius. It evaluates these massive large language models, the brains behind the chatbots, not with boring tests, but by simply asking tons of real people, hey, which one of these do you like more? That's it. The entire thing is powered by human preference. Seriously, the best way to picture this is like a massive, ongoing blind taste test for AI. Like the Pepsi challenge, but for chatbots. It sounds so simple, right? But trust me, the impact of this is huge. Okay, so you're probably wondering, how does this whole AI taste test actually work? Well, it's just as simple and elegant as it sounds. It's basically just 3 steps. First, you hop on and ask it anything. I mean, anything. It could be a super complex coding question, or you could ask it to write a silly poem about your cat. Then, the arena spits out 2 different answers, side by side. The key here is they come from 2 anonymous AI models. And then step 3, you just vote. Pick the one you think is better. Simple as that. And that head-to-head battle is what makes this whole thing work. Because the models are totally anonymous, you have no idea who you're talking to. There's no bias. You're not thinking, oh, this is the one from the big tech company. Nope. You just see model A and model B. You become the judge, and your decision is based purely on which answer is actually better. So check this out. Every single time you click that vote button, you're not just getting your question answered. You're actually contributing a tiny but super important piece of data to this massive global leaderboard that's always being updated. A leaderboard that's ranking the most powerful AIs on the planet based entirely on what people like you and me actually think. And let me be clear, this is not some small, niche little project. Oh no. The sheer scale of Chatbot Arena is what makes it so powerful. It's what gives this leaderboard its teeth. Get this. By the time the research paper came out, the platform had already collected more than 240,000 human votes. Just let that sink in for a second. 240,000 votes. That is an absolutely massive data set of real human opinions. And what's really crucial here is where those votes are coming from. We're talking about a huge, diverse group of people from all over asking about literally everything under the sun. These aren't sterile, canned questions from a lab. These are real-world problems, real-world curiosities. And that's the magic, right? It shows us how these AIs actually hold up out in the wild. So, yeah, this is way more than just a fun website to play around with. The Chatbot Arena leaderboard has quickly become a serious, trusted benchmark. We're talking about a gold standard for the whole AI industry. So why does it have so much credibility? Well, it boils down to a few key things. You've got that incredible diversity of questions we just talked about. Then there's this really fascinating discovery that what the crowd thinks actually matches up with what the experts think. And maybe most importantly, the people who are actually building these AIs, they're using it. They're paying close attention. This right here, this is one of the biggest takeaways from the research. The scientists found that the votes from thousands of regular people, just like us, were in good agreement with what the professional expert raters thought. How cool is that? It's this massive validation for the whole idea. It basically proves that the people's choice is the right choice. And because it's so credible, Chatbot Arena is now, and this is a direct quote, one of the most referenced LLM leaderboards out there. What that means is the biggest AI labs on the planet are looking at this data, your votes, to figure out how good their models are and, more importantly, to decide what they're going to build next. Your opinion is literally shaping the future of AI. So, what's the big takeaway here? What does this all boil down to? Chatbot Arena is a huge deal because it represents a major shift in thinking. It says that the best way to measure an AI isn't just about its test scores or its technical specs, it's about how well it aligns with what we, real humans, actually want and need. It puts us and our preferences right in the driver's seat of the AI race. And, that leaves us with a really big, fascinating question to chew on. If the whole point is to build AI that helps people, is what we prefer always the ultimate benchmark? Is the chatbot we like the most always the same as the one that's actually best for us or for society? It's something to think about, for sure. As we keep building this future, Chatbot Arena really forces us to ask, what are we actually aiming for?